Welcome to the Self-Esteem and Confidence Mindset with me, Johnny Pardo.
Do you find yourself feeling bad from rejection? Well, today we're going to be looking at how you can work through this. Welcome to the Self-Esteem and Confidence Mindset podcast with me, Johnny Pardo, here to help you take control of your self-confidence. So you're talking to a guy today who's been on lots of dates. And I don't say that in a way to be like, oh, I've been on lots of dates with women. I say it in a way that I've had lots of failures with dates, not disasters. Unfortunately, actually, bizarrely, never had a disastrous date. I've had dates where we've really not clicked. Me and the girl haven't really clicked. And I've had some really great dates. But I've had a lot of dates where it's not worked out. And then sometimes they've messaged me and said, yeah, I'm just not into you. And that's normal. But I've had a lot of that. And I really struggle to find a long-term relationship. But I've also been rejected in the workplace in terms of jobs and getting a job. And that therefore has a bit of an impact, had a massive impact on my self-confidence and my self-esteem and how I felt about myself. And there's even business. There's business when I've had clients being interested in the coaching and they've contacted me and then they've been eager and then suddenly they've cancelled in the last minute. Or we've had a conversation on the phone and there was they didn't quite understand what it was. And even though I felt like it was right for them, it was a no from them, which is perfectly fine. Obviously, if you genuinely can't do it, if you're not a right fit, of course, or it's really not for you. But I've felt the rejection sometimes in business and other things as well, when I've had the odd negative comment. And the thing is, it's really easy to take it personally. And I might be speaking to you as a business owner, as someone in their career, as someone who's struggling in a relationship or single and struggling to find a relationship. But rejection is a really tough thing. Now, rejection is actually a really, really good thing. And by the way, thank you so much to the individual who requested this episode. Perfect timing. I don't like the word perfect, actually. I'm going to change that. So you've always been conscious with my words, like I said in the last podcast episode. But excellent timing, because someone asked me about rejection. I thought, what an excellent idea, because it's something I experience as a human being. We all do. There's no human being who hasn't experienced rejection. But I want you to see it as a good thing. I want you to see it as a great thing, because it means you are taking action to change something. You can't get rejection if you don't do anything. And if you don't do anything, your life doesn't change. Now, it might be okay. You might want to stay static for the rest of your life and not make that change in your life. Some people do. And it's not my job to say you need to do this, you need to do that. Only you know what you want in life. I'm here as a guide, as a coach, giving my expertise from who I've learned from experts and from my own coaching experience and from coaching myself. But people are happy with different things in life. Now, as you grow more, the more likely you are to get rejected, because you're going out your comfort zone, you're meeting more people, whether you're starting a business or growing in your career. It's more often you're going to become exposed to more people, and therefore, or perhaps if it's a relationship we're talking about, whether it's an intimate relationship or just a social relationship, the closer you get to someone as well, the more, more likely it's going to hurt if it gets rejected, or you're going to get no's. Okay. But I really, really wanted to talk about this because it's a good thing. Now, you only get rejected when you reject yourself. That is my view on this. Now, that's easier said than done. And right, I'm going to talk about the logical side to this. But you may be thinking, the emotions get in the way. And I'm going to be covering that as well. Because it's easy to just go, just don't worry about rejection. You only get rejected when you reject yourself. But that's the point I want to make. I want you to really think that through. So I wanted to give you a series of questions to really redirect the brain instead. Okay. So the first part to this is to get it down on paper. When you write it down on paper, it really gets ideas out of your head, because sometimes our brain is very good at generalizing. It goes like, oh my God, this has happened. I got rejected. Everyone hates me. No one likes me, blah, 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 blah. And then your brain just blown everything out and you got rejected by everyone. And then it just ignores the evidence that people have appreciated you in life and you are loved. And naturally, as human beings, we tend to be driven from the people I've worked with and from my own experience and studying this area of psychology and confidence and self-esteem. We tend to be more biased to the negative. So getting it down on paper is really going to help to see it what it is. Okay. So that's the first point. So the first question I want you to think about is it really about you? Are they rejecting you or an idea? That's the first question I want you to ask. Now, it may be, in rare circumstances, it's just a personal attack. Unfortunately, though, fortunately, that's a small minority, depending on what area you're in, what business you're in. But generally, they're not attacking you. Ask yourself that: are they rejecting you? Are they rejecting you? Okay, they're just rejecting the idea. Remember, you can only reject yourself. Okay, next question: if it was you, if it is you they're rejecting, what can you do? What is the thing what can you actually do? And if the answer is like, I can't really do much more, that's it. You're just telling the brain that. Problem is, our brain starts to think, oh, I need to control this, I need to control that. And then suddenly it's blown everything out of perspective. Our brain can't control everything. So be very, very conscious on what it's paying attention to as well. Okay. Next question is, have you given yourself enough praise? Have you given yourself enough praise for going forward? Okay. Have you given yourself enough praise for putting yourself out there? That is my next question for you. My next question is, there's a few questions here, but we're really trying to redirect the mind. Ask yourself, what is the belief and how is it false? Okay. What's the belief saying? Is the belief deep down saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not loved? And ask yourself, why is that false? Why is that absolute BS? The BS doesn't sound for belief systems in this case. Why is that a lie? Okay. E.g., I get rejected in everything. Do you really get rejected in everything? Really? Your brain will probably tell you it will, because it's like getting worried and it blows out of proportion unless you redirect it. But do you really get rejected in everything? You often hear that as kids, or I hear kids say that a lot, sadly. I hear young people sometimes say that with a lack of confidence. But yeah, it can be a real generalization. And it's, again, really important we educate kids as much as possible on self-esteem and confidence. And that's why I've done a couple of talks to colleges on this stuff. So the next question is there any successful person who's being rejected out there? Well, you can answer that for yourself, but usually the traits of someone successful is they've been rejected so many times. Michael Jordan. Well, not Michael Jordan, sorry. Colonel Sanders. I was going to do the Michael Jordan, but that's more. He's got a better message on failure. Colonel Sanders with KFC. Now, this is just what idea that came top of my head, because personally, I don't agree with KFC because it causes a lot of health problems and can lead to obesity and problem. And I don't promote that because it's poor. That's terrible. I've got strong views on this. I won't go too far, but some of the fast food and things that are shoved in our face in society are killing us. Not just our physical health, but mentally. They're draining how we feel about us. So again, I don't promote this, but I was going to use the example. He got rejected by so many restaurants until he got a yes. A better example would have been Disney World. I don't know where I was going with that one. It turned into a rant, didn't it? But Disney World, Walt Disney got rejected by so many banks, but kept going. Sylvester Stallone got rejected by so many for his script, but kept going. These people have got rejected. So if you get rejected, you are not alone. Again, writing it down on paper, seeing who else has got rejected is going to be a really effective question. And then I want you to think about a couple of actions about that. Think about a couple of actions from those questions after you've reflected. And then I want you to do this. Watch very carefully because it's very complicated. Or listen very carefully. You're going to point yourself and say, yes, I am magnificent for moving forward. Yes, I'm magnificent for moving forward, because you're reinforcing to your brain that you've done a brave, courageous thing and you are trying to move forward. So, what I'm trying to get at here is the more you go forward, the more likely you are to be rejected. You are not alone. But if you start redirecting your brain and asking it those kind of questions, then you are really, really going to be able to redirect it. And I suppose the overarching point I want to make about this is this is why it's so critical to train your self-esteem and your self-confidence every single day. Else those self-doubts get on top of you. They start creeping in when you get one rejection. And if you're expecting no rejections in life, you're doing something wrong. If you want no rejections in life, go sit in a cave and do nothing for the rest of your life. Because the more you grow, the more you're likely to get rejected. But the more you grow, the more life can be so, so awesome. And I've certainly experienced that. Even though rejections are hard, what's harder for me? And ask yourself this question as well. What's harder for you? The thought of you being at the end of your life thinking, oh, I didn't do anything because I was worried about rejection. God, I missed out on life. Or you just getting rejection, which is not the end of the world. Your brain just blowing out of proportion unless you get it down on paper and then note a couple of actions you're going to do. I felt downhearted, like I said, with rejection. Rejection happens to us all. Had it in personal life, professional life. But I want you to think about what you're going to do. Remember, if you don't make a change, if you just listen, it's great, fantastic. I'm glad I've made an impact on you. But what are you going to do? What are you going to take away from this? What's a small action to start building your momentum today? So if you want more from me, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on LinkedIn, many channels. Just check out the description where you can get in contact. My most popular one is Instagram, where we can have a chat on there. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate you. And if you've really enjoyed this today, please share this with your friends and family and give this a rating just so we can reach more people and share the message and impact on more lives. You're making that contribution. Thank you so much if you've done so already. I really do value you. And remember, take control of your self-confidence.